International watchdog Human Rights Watch has debuted its 2013 World Report in London, which paints a sobering picture 2 years after the Arab Spring revolutions, which had begun with the promise of democratic reforms in many repressive countries.
It's been 2 years now, almost to the day, since the euphoria of those early days when we saw dictator after dictator toppling in the Middle East and North Africa. And that early euphoria has given way to often despair, deep concern over what's turned out to be a much more difficult situation than many perhaps had hoped when Mubarak or Ben Ali was toppling.
Meanwhile, in Syria, a bloody civil war continues, which has killed some 60,000 people and displaced 700,000 Syrians, according to United Nations estimates, and it is jeopardizing the country's chances at becoming a unified democratic nation. Kenneth Roth, the executive director of Human Rights Watch, warned that more effort was needed despite the recently pledged $1.5 billion in aid for victims of the conflict.
Because there has been progress on the humanitarian front in recent weeks, we shouldn't confuse that with progress in stopping the killing. Indeed, we all remember back to Bosnia and the phenomenon of the well-fed dead. Simply because humanitarian relief is reaching people doesn't mean that anything's really being done to stop their slaughter from the air or on the ground. So continued pressure is needed, foremost on Assad and his government, to stop the indiscriminate slaughter of civilians.
Speaking about Egypt, Roth did have some positive things to say about the country's new constitution, but cautioned it contained many loopholes which jeopardized the rights of women and minorities.
Egypt is the most important country in the Middle East and North Africa, and the struggle there epitomizes a broader struggle in the region, because you have a new elected government that has adopted a constitution that itself is filled with loopholes when it comes to basic rights. The government is really not sure whether it wants to protect the rights of women or the rights of dissidents or the rights of minorities. And so there is a struggle going on today for Egypt's future and, frankly, for the viability of Egypt's democracy.
With the Muslim Brotherhood now in control of Egypt and jihadists fighting for control of Syria after President Assad is deposed, it seems that the Arab Spring has given rise to an Islamist winter, and it remains to be seen if those countries and others such as Libya, Tunisia and Mali will emerge as democratic nations.